folks, welcome back to Sagas of Sundry Quests and Answers. I'm Dan Casey, and once again, I'm joined by the amazing cast and crew of Sagas of Sundry Goblin Mode. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Danielle Radford.
I'm Amy Vorpahl.
I'm Jason Nguyen.
And our special guest,
Ify Nwadiwe.
Folks, this episode was a Robo doozy, which I guess is a spoiler in and of itself, or a quantum spoiler if you haven't watched the episode yet, in which case, fix your life. Make better choices. I believe in you. Up to a point. So go watch the episode, listen to it, however you choose to consume it. Watch the progress bar on the podcast. Your choice, your life, but make it better. Listen to us, watch any. I'm losing the thread here. Let's talk about Goblin Mode. Okay, so this was a pretty bazoinkers episode, considering it was. We're going into this as a combat episode. It's definitely combat-centric. Mm-hmm. We walked in, it was a junkyard brawl, and Valen's Heap, Valen's Heap nailed it the first time. Always believe in yourself. And yeah, it was a gigantic automaton, and things escalated quickly. We got some really awesome, like epic, almost anime-inspired moments, and some really humbling moments at the same time. So I want to talk to you, Amy, first about sort of designing this encounter, because I love that we've not just been fighting like monstrosities, but I also love that there's been
constructs.
I love this sort of like interplay of magic and technology in particular.
Well, that's what Sundaros is to me, is magic and technology, and who better than the marked, these lycanthropes up in the sky. So,
Skycanthropes.
Skycanthropes. And I would say, gosh, is it my favorite? I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but at least it's top is types of monsters are constructs, because they're just kind of freaking weird, and it's like, what, they belong here? And arguably, like these monodrones and duodrones, they have their own whole system of worship and religion and weird stuff like that, but they're also pretty basic. But it's also, look, in designing these adventures, I know what everyone's strengths are, and you're not strong yet. You're a level 2. So part of designing adventures and quests and encounters is having ways out, which there were 4 ways out of the battle. Y'all clocked 2 of them. That's perfect. And I love, but by any stretch of the imagination, the audience who's following along would know that if you got 3 level 2 heroes and whatever the CR we gave Ify is, which is pretty high, I think 5, you do not throw at them a CR7 Shield Guardian plus 5 minions of duodrones. However, I wanted to see what y'all would do with it, and you do have an artificer in your team, so it's just these
Not that much help this time.
No, you were helpful. Yeah, I just lost my dagger.
Yeah.
It wound up being, look, and we also knew that from Unzug's Lair, I was able to do a callback to what the duodrones actually were. You were able to pick up on that. I love giving rewards to players who keep track of their loot, because I'm doing my darndest to keep track of the loot, and so I'm planting little rewards here and there. So I'm glad that you were able to remember that, Danielle. I think you're actually very good at remembering stuff like that, like picking up what I'm putting down, and it's actually quite frightening.
Look, it will go away as soon as I go to sleep. I don't, up here is 98% Japanese wrestling, and then 2% Dungeons and Dragons.
Perfect.
So.
I also wanted to see what Captain Reg Telg would look like in a battle too, because he is, cooler than most.
Yeah, no, it was real fun, because anytime I do an actual play, my number one thing is okay, I want to do cool things in battle that people were like, oh, I want to try that. And you kind of did that for me with the magnet attract in Recharge. So really was I think what was funny was I didn't know what everyone's level was until someone got one shot, and I was like, oh, I should be down there taking aggro while they do whatever they want. So then that's why I kind of switched up to okay, I'm gonna just be head first. And then when y'all pointed out the neck kind of brace thing, I was like, okay, well then I'll kill that and maybe it'll stop it. And then that didn't work, and I was like, do I put it on? And then it worked, and I was like, finally. And then you were like, I'm still gonna burn it.
I loved that Tippy was just so laser focused on just how mad he was at getting humbled by this giant robot that he couldn't stop concentrating on the spell.
What's also funny is because the robot was like 6 feet tall, right?
7 feet.
Seven
Seven
feet
feet,
tall.
yeah.
And so like it was funny because in my head, we kept saying big robot. And I guess for y'all that was big, but like for me, I'm taller than the robot.
I guess I forgot that as well because when I imagined it, when you went back to back with the burning robot, I pictured like that Captain Raytel having this like Gurren Lagann moment with a giant mech, and I'm like, oh well, he's actually big.
Because Fibs is quite tall as well.
Yeah, Fibs is like 6 feet, and then he's just, but he's very lanky in comparison.
Yeah.
Not quite as thick as this robot.
He's slight. Yeah, he's got hollow bones.
Yes, as I learned up close and personal when I got punched into a loose pile of robot bones.
I love Bone Pile.
I love Bone Pile. So Bone Pile is like easily one of my favorite mechanics in the game.
It's just so silly just to imagine being like, someone gets punched and they just collapse into a pile of bones.
It reminds me of those Mario skeletons.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, dry bones.
The dry bones.
Yes. I also had a lot of fun making the table that I had basically busy rolling on to see like what would glitch out. Like there were some things that obviously you didn't get on the table, but it was really fun to, I don't know, play with a table that I built. I just really like tables. I don't know if you've ever designed an encounter.
It was
it's
awesome.
Like tables are kind of the best. You get to be a little silly with it, but also do some damage.
It added so much to the stress because I was like, please, not another like deafening roar that was going to knock everybody out of it.
Well, I think that's also one of the joys that I find in tabletop role-playing games, especially in a system like this, where there is that element of chance. Like all of these boil down to communal choose-your-own-adventure books with some probability and light math to determine what happens next, but that adds just this like little sprinkle of chaos on top.
Yeah, for
that I
me
just
too.
delight in.
Yeah, because there are some things in here where I will say the Shield Guardian behaves really nicely towards y'all, and I also know you as a group fall in love quickly or get codependent real fast with things that are nice to you.
Please be nice.
Please be nice. It doesn't happen too often.
We've been begging all of our lives for just one person to be nice to
So
us.
that didn't wind up happening, but I was like, I wonder what happens if the Shield Guardian glitches out and gives someone a hug or says something nice. It would have been over, but the Shield Guardian would still be the Shield Guardian.
Yeah, we would get into bot stuff real quick.
100%. After I took over a little collar guy, if I were able to use him to be in charge of the huge guy, Huge Daddy, we were going to be best friends.
You were close.
Yeah,
you were close.
He was going to become my robot best friend.
Oh, I love that plan.
Like that was going to be the plan. Anybody who's ever seen me do an actual play show knows there is basically I will do nothing if you give me a robot, but try to become its best friend if I have the option.
That's
literally
amazing.
every actual play I've ever. I'm like, is this the one where I get a robot? And the closest I ever came was once I got a pig and got to name it after a robot. But that's it. So I just need a robot. Give me a robot.
Well, now there's Robo Tippy.
Now there's Robo Tippy.
Now there's Robo Tippy.
I had to. You have no idea. The interface Danielle was making. Tippy's in trouble. I'm going to steal your robot and make it my best friend.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Tippy will get jealous because
like
I'm like,
this.
why aren't you that nice to me?
I like this triangle that Loof lives inside of Fibs, and Loof has a cool connection with Unky Tippy. Now Tippy has Robo Tippy and has a weird connection with Busy. And Busy, now all you need is something living nearer inside you that has a weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Well, we need to get Ronnie having a weird connection with Fibs then. I guess
Yeah,
that's
she
on
gave me a ride to the airport once. It was cool.
Ronnie's chill. Ronnie would give you a ride to the
Ronnie
airport.
is chill.
You just have to be super okay with consensual possession.
Ify, what the hell? At the end, throwing into, like, I was like, where is he going with this? And Smelly was asking the questions, but
Yeah.
you see something going on with Smelly.
Yeah, I just love the idea of just a like gang of pirates that are also a polycule. Like, You're out like, I'm sure that would happen, you know, like everyone saw our flags means death and was like, oh yeah, I was like, I'm sure that happens so many, you're out to sea with a bunch of people, you build this relationship. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much a polycule. Why not go ahead and label it and have it? Also, I felt like Smelly was in need of love, and I just Ify the player became so enamored, and I was like, I gotta Raytal. You're gonna love your first mate.
Oh my God! To introduce that like 5 or 10 minutes before the end of the episode shook me a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that Smelly was completely taken aback because I feel like everyone else in the crew is probably on Ray Tellick's page.
I think so. I mean,
And she's just the only one who's just so like, oh, what?
Focused and so type A
Yeah.
that like she has not noticed any of the love happening around her.
She absolutely cuddled him as a bear out in the cold.
But it was
one
very
time.
practical.
But it was practical. Like,
Very
you know,
practical.
That wasn't even an on-the-spot idea. It was the moment you told me about the first mate being a werebear. I was like, oh, he definitely, because that's what I would want.
Stop.
All that.
It's called my favorite.
But definitely
for sure.
on our ship on the
Stag's Horn.
A lot of platonic makeouts, you know, which
Platonic
you know if you haven't
makeouts.
tried it, it rocks. I'm just a
a
big
real
fan of it.
That's right. Get on the relationship.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So to bring things to lore for a moment, I want to
Okay.
talk about the Chalice.
Yeah.
Because it is very powerful and very cool. It can, I'm guessing, make any liquid you can dream of.
Yes,
once a day.
I'll probably give this to y'all, but I have a little
Incredible.
actual a stat block for the magic item.
How big is this chalice? I'm curious.
It's a normal sized chalice, like
When you say normal size,
I know. I actually probably
size?
No, it's like a human's hand could hold the bowl of it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it holds probably.
It's not like one of those novelty chalices you get at like a Dave & Buster's or something like that.
No. I mean, this is of epic proportions. They also call it it's called the Chalice of Kirkin, and I mean, they would. I don't mind telling you that you would know that Kirkin is one of the champions of the Sundari.
Of course.
So Kirkin is actually not a Sundari's name, but it is the name of a champion of the Sundari. Okay. So anyway, I'll give you guys these stats later. But yeah, if you know the Jug of Alchemy from 5e, one of my favorite magic items, it's based off of that. It's just that when you tell it how much to make, you actually can tell it a healing potion. I don't think the Jug of Alchemy lets you do that. It just takes a while for stronger healing potions, like a whole day it might take to fill up if it's a...
It's so useful, and I just love that this entire encounter while we were just getting beat up, Smelly was like hiding behind a pillar.
I mean, you do have to, like, just for sanity and time's sake, you need non-combatants, but I love that Tippy is like, hello!
Get some help down here.
I do want to re-emphasize that even as level 2, you are more powerful and better than just citizens, including just citizens of the march. Some
You
of
hear
them,
that, citizens?
Yeah, citizens.
Watch your step.
Citizens listening right now are like, oh man,
No, that's me. I'm a citizen.
yeah. I mean, Plixie, went right down. Oh, poor Plixie.
I would have been devastated if something had happened to Plixie, like both as a player and as Tippy. So I was like, I had to gun it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept
Literally.
waiting because we got those spells in the beginning, and I really wanted to use my big dirt hand, but I was saving that slot in case I needed to cast Cure Wounds. In case I needed to cast Cure Wounds on her. And luckily, we kind of got her out of the way. But I was not prepared for whatever Tippy's breakdown was going to be, because if that happened and she died, the area that we're at, what is it?
Valen's Heap.
Valen's Heap is gone. Tippy would have found a way to blow all of it up.
For sure.
I should have told you this. I think it's true that you don't need a spell slot to cast a scroll. The scroll just is a consumable item. I need to double check that.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Takes an action, I think.
just take an action? Okay.
I think you can use a spell slot to cast it at a higher level, maybe? I might be wrong.
Well,
never
if
really
I'm
learn
giving
a
out
spell from a spell
scrolls,
slot.
I can
do.
learn a spell from a scroll. That's why I'm saving mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, you're copying it.
I'm gonna do
I
it.
know. Yeah. Well, you also have cure wounds,
I was
don't
gonna-
you?
Yeah, I have a, I have a
go
scroll
ahead.
of Cure Wounds.
Okay.
I was gonna keep mine and put it in my ring because the ring holds.
Oh, you
things.
can cast it into
yeah,
your ring.
that's
You
right.
absolutely can. Well, lots of options here.
That was also why I wanted to use it on the guys because since I had the ring. and
Yeah,
the guys.
I did choose those spells. I was like, well, these might come in handy. Heat metal for sure. Like we know
Yeah.
that's going to come in handy. How you used it though? Come on.
Oh, super satisfying.
Just like,
super
oh my god,
satisfying.
you're just melting.
Well,
this to
I
a
was
crisp.
I was really scared of using it at first because I didn't want to get in a situation where I was just burning all of my friends for no reason that were trying to fight
Oh
the,
no, I
the
love
boss fight. you know?
sort of matching like the sort of elemental attack to the situation. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII
Yes.
Rebirth, so that's like
Come on
deep
now.
in my mind right now.
Yes.
And like I'm like, oh yeah, giant robot. Of course, lightning would be effective, and also
So
if you
good.
heat up the metal, that would be effective.
Totally.
So it's just nice to see that like player logic have a narrative effect on combat too.
And also, speaking of being effective, I want to call out something specifically and on purpose ineffective that I discovered during this game, and I don't know how it escaped my purview, which is that the Bard has chosen a 10 ability score for a +0 modifier.
I swear-
in their charisma.
I swear there's a reason.
I
It is
believe you.
yeah, just it's I first of all I play a lot of characters who top themselves out of stuff, so I thought it might be fun to have a little bit of a less of a charisma, but also because there is an opportunity for us to be able to multi-class, and so I figured when that time came, then that would be something, and it would be kind of some character evolution rather than like straight out the gate, because she wouldn't have charisma. She knows 5 people, and they are all evil.
It makes so much sense. It also goes right in line with what the theme of this is, which is you are minions, are arguably video game code in a video game evil overlord's lair, and I love strategically making a character that is weak to fit the theme, not willy-nilly, not just because you're screwing around, but yeah, you're an ineffective bard as of yet.
As of yet.
Yeah, but when I saw
it was very much on purpose, I promise.
Yeah, when we're like, what's the spell save? 10? Just
Yeah,
10?
10, and
10.
even you were going, no, it's normally higher than that. It'll be higher, and I was like,
I was sure of it.
it should be
I
higher.
would have bet money. And I was like,
yeah.
oh,
Looking
just a
right
flat
at
10?
yep, just 10.
There are things that get added to this, right? And then no, it's like, oh no, you
You know what? Nothing wrong with a good 50-50 shot to pass or fail. That's something I can. Those are odds I can get down with.
That's right.
But
that's
as for
right.
how the odds will shake out with the Minions of Mayhem in the future, only time will tell. And you can find out on a brand new episode of Sagas of Sundry Goblin Mode when it comes out next week. Thank you so much for watching, listening, tuning in, however you found us. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.